Hey Capricorn, welcome to your weekly forecast for November 29th through December 5th. This is going to be for Capricorn Sun, Moon, and Rising. You might happen to stumble upon this video outside of the dates I mentioned. That's all fine and dandy. You're going to find the video whenever you're meant to find it, okay? So whenever you're meant to hear the messages. Keep in mind this is a general reading for the Capricorn collective. Therefore, not every single message will resonate, but take the ones that do and leave the ones that don't. So without further ado, my darling Cappies, let's see what's coming up for you guys here. What messages are coming up here for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. All right, let's get right on into it. First card coming up right out the gate here for Capricorn is the Magician, okay? Now, this could be both Gemini and Virgo energies. If you have a Gemini or Virgo placement, there can be really big changes coming in for you in those areas of your life or in those houses. It is a major arcana card, so a lot of you have heard me say the major arcana cards come up when this is directly connected to something you came here to experience, something you came here to master. This is part of your journey. Now, that being said, because it's something you came here to accomplish, your angels and guides are going to be around you in these kinds of times and these kinds of moments. Your spiritual team is here to support you and help you and guide you through the transition and the changes. You can't fail. The only way you would fail is if you just stopped moving forward. If you just said, okay, I'm just gonna give up. But if it's something you came here to accomplish, you will accomplish it. As long as you keep moving forward and you work with your angels and guides. Now, with the Magician card, this is also a lot to do with manifestation. So you may be seeing a lot of signs, a lot of symbols, repeating angel numbers, spirit animals, things of this nature. Okay? I'm seeing the coyote. Spirit is showing me the coyote, Capricorn. Now, I don't know what the coyote might mean for you in your culture or in your symbolism, but when I think of the coyote, it's about moving cautiously, like seizing an opportunity and a strong sense of independence, doing things independently, seizing opportunities, not waiting too long and letting things pass you by. You see something, you go for it. But also a sense of like caution, being cautious, being careful, right? So some of you Capricorns might be, I have to say this, I don't need to be a negative Nelly, okay? But some of you Capricorns, I feel that you're dealing with somebody who maybe is a bit of a coyote or a bit of an opportunist. And they might be seeing you as very successful, or like you have it together, or you're really going places, or you have some nice things materially. I feel like you need to be cautious about who you're letting in. And just as the coyote is cautious, this person might come into your life to teach you how to be cautious, how to be a little bit more maybe self-serving and taking care of yourself and satisfying your needs, albeit you may do it with a little bit more ethics. So I feel like this is a time of great change for you. I feel like this is a time that you're calling in many wonderful things. But you may also have somebody who sees this. They're like, oh, Capricorn has a blessing coming. Ooh, it's about to rain down on Capricorn. And they may be coming in a very sly way. So be aware of that and be cautious. And you're going to start seeing this about people. Pay attention. Pay attention to how they move. Pay attention to how they operate. Pay attention to how they maneuver. there might be something that you can learn from it. You know, you're not going to go and be shady like them, but you may take away certain lessons from them that can be beneficial for you on how to seize the moment or seize the opportunity, or how to analyze things or read between the lines. I just feel like you're coming into a time, and maybe this is because like you're wanting it, like you're wanting new friends to come in, maybe not even about dating, like just wanting new friends, wanting a new social circle. If you're not cautious, I feel like these are people who are like, oh wow, like I'm gonna go party with Capricorn, I'm gonna go hang out with Capricorn, oh Capricorn's gonna get us all the drinks, so Capricorn's gonna get us the bud, or you know, like whatever it is, whatever it is. You may be generous, and it might kind of sometimes feel good to be able to say, all right, here, like, let me give you this and let me give you that, be my guest. But you need to be cautious that you don't have people that are coming around you for the wrong reasons, because they're users, right? Or they're fair weather friends. I feel like you're coming into a time of success, and you have to be cautious that you're not holding space in your life for these fickle people or for these users. The next card that's coming up here for Capricorn is the Page of Swords. Now, the Page of Swords is a card that comes up a lot of the times for me in my readings when you're being encouraged to speak your truth. There could be something happening here with the throat chakra unblocking, and maybe you are being guided to speak your truth and to say how you feel about a situation, or to ask for what you truly want. The Page of Swords can also come up in a situation where you have to be cautious what you're posting online. I have seen the Page of Swords come up a lot of the times when you're dealing with somebody who you know in real life who's created a fake profile that looks really legit. You might look at that and say, oh, this is a real person. They have a lot of friends that are interacting with them. I haven't met them in person, but they seem real. They seem legit. And this person is like sliding up into your DMs and talking to you. And they're trying to get information out of you. And I know sometimes it can feel really comforting to talk to a stranger because you feel like you can vent, and that stranger doesn't know the people in your life, and you can say all that you want to say. But for some of you, you think you're talking to a stranger and you think you have that anonymity, but you don't. You're talking to somebody you know. So be aware and be cautious of what you're sharing online. How much you're sharing about your life or how you feel about things. You might have somebody who's trying to gather information here. Again, I got that sense of that coyote. So just be cautious what you're sharing. I just feel like someone feels they have a lot to benefit. They have a lot to get from you. I don't feel like they're gathering the information to blackmail you or use it against you. I don't feel that sense. I feel they're gathering the information so that they can put together a strategy. They can really know what you want and what you're looking for, and how they can present themselves so that you give them a chance or you let them in. They might completely and totally fake their political beliefs or religious views to align with your political beliefs or your religious views. They might pretend to believe in something they don't believe in because they discover that it's important to you. Or certain characteristics that you're looking for in a person. They're going to pretend to be that kind of person, but really they're not. So be aware and be cautious what you're sharing and how much you're sharing. Even if it's not in your DMs, even if it's things that you're posting. You know, oh, a real friend is this, and that way. I'm sick of people who are this way, and that way. I'm going to wait until I find someone who's this way, and this way. Right? Like they're seeing all that and they're putting together their plan. So be cautious what you're sharing. And again, you might be in a situation where you're being encouraged to speak up and to say how you feel in a situation with other people. I see that a lot of the times with the Page of Swords, that there's an unblocking or a clearing in the throat chakra, like to not hold back. The next card here is the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles can be doing a lot of work, right? And typically the Seven of Pentacles comes in with the message that your hard work is going to pay off. But it's a slow process. It's going to take time. Much like if you're planting an apple tree. There's no way to fast forward the process of planting a seed and that seed growing into an apple tree. There's absolutely positively no way that we can fast forward that. And somebody's in the comments saying, well, you can genetically modify an apple, you can make an apple in a lab. Okay, well, yeah, you could, but you know what I mean. I'm talking about in the process of nature, planting a seed and having that seed grow to a tree. We can't fast forward that. We can't speed that up. There's no such thing as super fast growing seeds. Where, oh, these are magic seeds. You'll plant them and in 30 days you're going to have an apple tree. You're not going to have an apple tree in 30 days. It's going to take time for that tree to grow. And so Seven of Pentacles reminds you that this is going to be hard work and you will be successful, but it'll take time. And I'm getting a really interesting message for Capricorn from this card. I feel like you know this Capricorn and you're looking at this and you're like readjusting your priorities. You're like saying, well, I know I could be successful at this. I know my hard work is going to pay off, but this is more work than I realized and it's taking longer than I thought it would. So do I want to continue on this path? Do I want to do this? Or do I want to cut my losses and put my time and energy and focus somewhere else? Something that's going to give me faster results. Something that's not going to take as long. And so I feel like, Capricorn, some of you are like, you know, I know my hard work will pay off. I know I'm a hard worker. But I don't know if I want to work so hard. Just because I'm a good worker and I'm a hard worker doesn't mean I should have to work this hard. And so I feel like a lot of you are looking at a situation where you're like, this is a whole lot of work, a whole lot of squeezing for a teeny bit of juice. You're not happy with the result. The result is not fulfilling you. And you're not wanting to put more time into it. So a lot of you might be dissolving a partnership or stepping away from a project that you've been working on where you're like, this is too much. This is too much running around. This is too much energy. This is too much effort. You know, and so some of you might be selling something to somebody else. Maybe you picked something up because you thought you were going to work on it and you were going to fix it up and you were going to sell it and make a profit. For example, a car, right? Some people will buy an old car, they'll fix it up, they'll sell it, they'll make some money off of it, and you might have something now where you're like, I'm not enjoying doing this anymore. I didn't realize it was going to be so much work. Or I didn't realize it was going to take so long to get the parts. All right, well, here's the work I've put into it. I can sell it to somebody else who flips cars, and I can make a little bit of a profit off of the work I've done so far, but I just want to get this off my hands so I can put my time and energy for something else, or I can use this space for something else. So I feel a lot of you, I'm going to use the word abandon. A lot of you might be abandoning a project, but really what it might be is that like you're cutting ties with it, and you're seeing how you can prevent loss, you know, get a little bit of gain out of it, but free up your time, free up your energy, free up your resources so you can focus on something new. You're like, it's too much work. right? Sometimes this can come up in terms of relationships. It's too much work with this person. It's too hard with this person. It shouldn't have to be this hard. I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore. That's the feeling and the vibe I'm getting from the Seven of Pentacles. You know that it can have a positive result, but you're like, you're over it. You're wanting an easier path, right? You're wanting efficiency. The next card coming up here for Capricorn is the Death card. Some of you could be dealing with a Scorpio. You may have a Scorpio placement, and there can be big changes happening for you in those areas of your life or in those houses. Okay? The Death card can also indicate the end of a period the end of a cycle, the end of a chapter. But the thing is, we know about the Death card is that even though one thing is ending, it's really the beginning of something else, the beginning of something new. I feel, Capricorn, that for a lot of you, the Death card is coming in the way that you've been seeing yourself, which is an element of ego death. And some of you have heard me talk about the Death card in terms of ego death. But I feel like the way you've been seeing yourself is changing. It's shifting. And the way that you've been seeing people is changing and shifting. And so I feel this is taking me back to the Magician card. There's an element of the Magician card which is seeing through the smoke and mirrors, seeing through the illusion. And so something about the Death card, even as you're looking at this figure here, it's almost as if this figure here is trying to shield themselves like from the light, or like something that they're looking at is like blinding, like they don't want to look at it directly. They have their face to the side, they have their hand up, like they don't want to face it, they don't want to see it, or like that light is too bright. So I feel something is happening here for some of you as you're seeing through an illusion, or as you're seeing the reality of a situation, that it feels very unpleasant to you. Like you might be seeing that certain things you've been saying, oh, it's not that bad, it's not that bad. It's not that big of a deal, I'm all right, it's okay. And then all of a sudden, it's like the truth of it is really being revealed to you. And you're like, no, this is kind of a big deal. This is kind of a big issue. Maybe I'm not all that all right. Maybe there's some things I have to address. I have to take care of. I have to heal. There are certain people that maybe I shouldn't be around. Or this is a time that maybe I need to, wrestle with my demons, so to speak, and defeat them once and for all. So a lot of you, oh gosh, wow, this got really specific. I just heard Spirit say step 4. AA step 4. AA step 4. This is not to say that this is only going to apply to somebody if they're an alcoholic. And I know a lot of you out there don't know what step 4 is, but there's different 12-step programs. There's, Alcoholics Anonymous, Overeaters Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, all kinds of this anonymous and that anonymous, and they all operate off a 12-step program. And the 4th step and the 12th step is when the person takes a personal inventory. You basically go through your entire life and you write down everyone who ever hurt you, everyone who ever insulted you, every situation where you've been treated unfairly, every job you've been fired from or it worked out, it ended badly, every relationship you've had, every person you've slept with, just like you go through everything and you pick it apart basically, and what happened and how did it make you feel, and maybe like what are ways that you contributed to this situation, or what are ways that you could have handled it differently. And so it's kind of like there's a sense of accountability. It's like you call yourself to task, and you ask yourself, what could I have done differently? What do I need to apologize for? Or what are ways that I could have protected myself? What are ways that I could have had better boundaries? What are ways that I could have stood up for myself? Right? And so this can be a grueling process. This can be a painful process, a difficult process. And that's the vibe I'm getting here with the Death card. It's like I don't want to see this. And I'm not saying it like you don't want to see yourself like you're a terrible person. I don't think you're a terrible person, Capricorn. But I feel like it's like there's a lot of things in your life that you downplayed. Like your parent did this or your parent did that, but it wasn't that big of a deal. You're all right. You turned out okay. I feel it's that kind of stuff. And you're like, no, this is some really messed up stuff. This is not okay. And I keep telling myself I'm okay, but these things are still affecting me. They're affecting my confidence. They're affecting my anxiety levels. They're affecting my relationships. And so I feel in this way you're feeling forced to look at the stuff so that it can be healed. It can be healed once and for all. You have financial gain coming to you. The majority of you, I can tell you that. I feel like life is going to be very good and very comfortable for you financially. And then you might be finding yourself that you can slow down. You can take some time off. You can rest a little bit. You can enjoy your money. But then the other hand of that is that now that you're in this slower energy where you can take some downtime, you're starting to have things come up from the past. You're starting to have things resurface. And so the Death card is saying, allow yourself to process this and to put it behind you once and for all. Allow yourself to mourn and grieve what needs to be mourned and to end whatever cycles need to be ended so that you can come up out of it the phoenix rising from the ashes. The next card coming up here for Capricorn is the Two of Swords. This is crucial. This is absolutely important. Absolutely important. Now, traditionally speaking, Two of Swords comes in with the element of being at an impasse. You might not be agreeing with somebody. You might not be seeing eye to eye about a situation. And we don't take action. Okay? Or we're feeling conflicted about a situation. Spirit is showing you the writing on the wall. But if you don't take action, some of you have heard me say this, Two of Swords for me is a warning. Two of Swords tells me that if you don't deal with the situation that you see, if you keep telling yourself, well, maybe it'll get better. I can just wait a little bit longer. It'll calm down. It'll die down. It'll get better. It'll be better. However, Spirit is saying, look, if you don't address this, if you don't take the action steps, there's gonna be a tower moment. And even though the tower moment comes out of love, it's not a punishment. The tower moment comes in to free us and to liberate us from bondage, from being stuck, from, wasting time in our life. Even though it's coming in a good way, or to do good for us, it's very shocking. It feels very scary to have the universe step in and remove a situation from our life. Or we find ourselves in a situation where like now we're being forced to do something we were delaying or procrastinating. So it's more comfortable if we take matters into our own hands and we take the steps on our own. We jump off the diving board into the swimming pool instead of waiting to get pushed in. You may want to check out your moon sign and rising sign videos. Some weeks those might resonate more for you than your sun sign. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. If you go to calendly.com/amethystangelite, you can schedule a private reading with me there. Love and romance readings for everybody is linked in the description of the video. And the 2022 forecasts, my goal is to have all of them uploaded by December 1st. So you'll be seeing those popping up in the next 24 hours or so. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Have a wonderful week, my dears. Be well.